I am here inside the only church in Rome dedicated to Saint Mary Magdalene. Built on a 14th century chapel, it was rebuilt in the late 17th century by the Camillian order, who minister to the sick, with the relics of the founder Saint Camillus venerated inside. Around the church you can see many depictions of Mary Magdalene, mostly from the Gospels. In every painting she is shown wearing an orange shawl, a colour that symbolises mercy by which she was saved and passion with which she loved the Lord. On her feast day, we remember Saint Mary Magdalene for the unique role she played as a woman in the Bible, her faithfulness to Jesus during his ministry, and her unwavering loyalty at the foot of the cross during the crucifixion. Saint Thomas Aquinas gave her the name Apostle of the Apostles because it was her that Jesus chose to appear to first after his resurrection, and it was to her that he said to go and tell the other disciples of what she had seen.
She became a figure of truly exceptional significance, especially when we consider her as a model of feminine discipleship. She is, in fact, the first woman to encounter the risen Christ. More than that, she is the first to receive the proclamation of the resurrection and is then entrusted with great courage to proclaim it herself.
But did Mary Magdalene always live a virtuous life? No. In fact, the Gospel of Luke tells us that she had to have 7 demons cast out of her before following Jesus. But this is almost the whole point. This is a very crucial part of her testimony and her road to sainthood.
First of all, from the perspective of women's experience, she represents what I would call a rare pearl. Mary Magdalene retraces feelings, emotions, experiences, and events that each of us can experience. The reality of sin, the need to be born anew, the awareness of evil, the need for grace being sent back into life, and the need for another chance, for hope.
Now, this isn't the only place that holds on to Mary Magdalene's legacy. Just across the Tiber River from the Vatican, inside the Basilica of St. John the Baptist of the Florentines, you can find a relic of fragments of her foot, which were only rediscovered in the year 2000, placed inside a silver reliquary.
Why the foot? Precisely because she is a woman in motion. The foot signifies movement. It speaks of setting out, of leaving one's place behind. And we know that going out, that walking, always involves a certain measure of risk. It also means that we have already discerned where we are going, with whom we are going, and why we are going.
According to tradition, Saint Mary Magdalene lived the last 30 years of her life as a hermit in a mountain cave in La Sainte-Baume, France, living of nothing apart from the Eucharist. 10 years ago, Pope Francis elevated Saint Mary Magdalene's memorial to a full feast day, celebrated every year on July 22nd. In Rome, Zofia Czubak for EWTN Great Britain.